I'd literally burst into tears and walked home. But then, you know, even though it was a sort of, for me, a difficult moment, it didn't deter me. I went down the road, there was a greengrocer down the road, I said, can I work here? And I got another job. My name is Robert Peston. I am ITV's political editor, presenter of The Peston Show, and I founded Speakers for Schools. My first experience of work was being locked in a freezer room by a frozen food store and being told to stack the boxes and clean it out. I took away from it that earning money wasn't the easiest thing in the world. It was pretty gruelling. But probably the most important lesson I learned was that it's much more efficient to work in a team. Occasionally I was locked in the freezer room on my own. It was a nightmare. When there were a couple of us in there, it all took less time and it was a bit more cheerful. I did a lot of work in, shops as a teenager. One of the things you have to do if you're going to sell is know how to, persuade an adult, a grown-up, to buy from you. And that means you've got to learn the courage to speak to people from all backgrounds and all ages. You've got to show respect, you've got to show deference, you've got to learn how to charm people, you've got to learn how to be polite, and these are skills that are valuable whatever you end up doing. I mean, the most important thing about work experience is understanding that the world doesn't owe you a living. In the end, I discovered that journalism was the thing that I love more than anything else. It's a vocation. I've never really wanted to do anything else, having been lucky enough to get the big break in my 20s and getting my first proper job in journalism. But the truth is, if you look at my career, it's broadly been defined by a sort of relentless pursuit of stories, by a commitment to the trade. And that commitment to the world of work, I did learn from those other jobs in my teens that had nothing to do with journalism. So the great thing about being in the workplace is you understand how teams fit together, you understand essentially how institutions succeed. I mean, let's be absolutely clear, the lessons are just manifold. The most important thing that work experience can help you to do if you're in the right workplace is get a sense of who you are and why you as an individual are valuable. The great thing about working in any institution is, with any luck, at the end of the day, you can look at what you've done, usually with other people, and see some kind of progress, and that gives you a sense of your own worth. If I was a teenager now, I guess the kind of work experience I'd love to do would be in one of those industries working in the digital sphere. I mean, the economy is so increasingly dependent on those that have those digital skills. I think I'd want to acquire those as young as I could. So my advice to anybody thinking about work experience is almost any experience of work is valuable, and throw yourself into it. Don't do half measures. Don't sort of be too cool. Some work is boring, there's no question about it, but you've got to understand about the boring jobs to work out what the exciting ones are. It's really important, particularly now for young people, to have understanding of what the world is going to be like, because the economy is changing so fast and will continue to change. And therefore, more than anything else, if you want to have a prosperous future, you've got to know what's out there. Everyone should have a work experience story.